Darling, it's the Shy Life podcast.
Yes, but it's a positive thing. The High Life, the Shy Life.
You won't find a cast of characters like this everywhere.
Hello, Paul.
Delicious.
This particular episode of the Shy Life is a little more abstract than usual.
Oh,
Okay, looks like the hairy guy is ready to record. 3, 2, 1.
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, I hope he hasn't found out my secret. Do you think he has?
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Shy Life podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How are you doing? Oh, not too bad, not too bad. I'm recording this on the 17th of October 2020. And it's going to be one of our music episodes, but it's going to be slightly different. And I've got Nick here. I mean, I really have got Nick here in the room.
I am physically here.
Yeah. So yes, pandemic's still on, but we're now not sure what we're supposed to be doing. So Nick's here.
Yeah. whilst we wait for Boris to make up his mind.
Yeah, whilst we can. So this time we're going to be sort of scouting through about 60 years worth of music. Looking at sort of some of the highlights of not the Eurovision Song Contest overall, although we will dip into a lot of the winners, but we're looking particularly at the songs or the artists who did songs for the UK for Eurovision, if that makes any sense. So we won't be going at sort of regulation speed. I admit we'll be skipping through years where we don't know who the people are or we don't care who the people are. So yes, it's very much our own personal view of what the highlights are. So anyway, let's run the theme music, and when we come back, we'll be getting all Eurovision-y.
Time for my old buddy, old pal from across the channel, across the pond, Paul Chandler, the Shy Yeti.
he's not that shy. Oh, it's the Shy Life podcast. Yeah.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
It's the quiet ones you've got to watch, you know.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
That's right. He's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor. It's the Shy Life podcast.
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Oh, I can't wait for it to begin.
It's the Shy Life podcast.
He's positively glowing.
Hello, and we're back. So, Nick, can't say what were you doing this year because we took out 60 years or more.
I wasn't doing a great deal in 1970. First, just sort of to clarify, when was it 60 that the Eurovision Song Contest actually started?
No, it was even earlier. There's a little bit of confusion here because it says that the first year was 1956, although as far as I can see here, it sort of says that 1957 was the first year that the UK got involved. Although it also seems to have gone through, although we call the whole thing the Eurovision Song Contest, it seems like in 1957 it was called the Festival of British Popular Songs. I'm a little bit confused. I found another website which says all of the different songs that were entered, and so yes, I think the list I've got here is the songs that we did that went forward in the actual competition. So, and also whether they were chart hits. So, for instance, in 1957, somebody called Patricia Bredin, who I've never heard of, she did a song called All, which got to number 7, well, was 7th at Eurovision, but wasn't in the charts. So I don't think it says it was not recorded or released as a single. So, and the actual winner that year was was the Netherlands. Now, I'm not going to read the names of some of these songs because a lot of the early songs, they were sung in the languages of the countries that won, and I don't want to embarrass myself.
Or indeed the countries that won.
No. But all I can say is that it wasn't the UK that won. Although it does list here that in 1956, the year before, Switzerland won. So I don't know if Britain wasn't involved in the first year. It's too much. We've got too much to discuss for me to be researching that. Now, in 1958, I don't think we took part because there appears to have been one in 58.
Oh, right.
France won, but going back to my other list, there's no list of us taking part in 58. I'm sure the reason why is very interesting, but I'm also sure that it's available to Google and find out more about from another source. As I say, we're not here to give you a comprehensive history of the Eurovision Song Contest. We're just using it as an excuse to see the number of famous people who have represented the UK over the years. Pearl Carr and Teddy Johnson in 59 with Sing Little Birdie. It was second at Eurovision and it got to number 12 in the charts. Let me see who Pearl Carr and Teddy Johnson was, because I definitely recognise that name. They were an English husband and wife team of entertainers who gained the highest profile during the 50s and early 60s. Carr was born in Exmouth, Devon, and Johnson was born in Surbiton. It's just down the road from here. Carr had been the lead singer of a band called the Keynotes, and they had 2 British hits in 56. And they'd appeared on Crackerjack, and I feel like they may have been name checked in things like either Hancock or maybe Round the Hall, or they're definitely a name that I've heard in sort of TV from that era. In 59, the winner was the Netherlands again. In 60, we were second again with a song called Looking High, High, High by Brian Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Just says that Brian Johnson was an English singer and actor.
Presumably not the same Brian Johnson that did the special effects on Space 1999.
Apparently he was related to Pearl Carr and Teddy Johnson.
Oh, and keep it in the family.
Yeah, he was brother and sister. They were his brother. So Teddy was his brother. And of course, Brian Johnson. That makes sense. He was mainly a stage actor, I think. But in 1960, France won. But we did very well, and the following year in 61, we were also second. Although bear in mind that I think this has come up when I've discussed it with Martin. There were less countries taking part at this stage.
Oh, right. Less countries than we later became accustomed to.
So in 1961, the song "Are You Sure" by the Allisons, second at Eurovision and second number 2 in the charts. The Allisons were an English pop duo consisting of Bob Day and John Alford. They were marketed as being brothers using the surname of Allison. A weird name to choose. If you were going to do that, wouldn't you just call them the Smiths or the Jones or the? That would just be. Wouldn't that just be confusing? Because Alison is also a girl's name. So.
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, they didn't last for long. 61 to 63. They didn't have any other hits either. They had a few more singles, but no more hits really. Did I say who? In 61, Luxembourg won.
All right.
62, Ronnie Carroll was our representative with a song called Ring a Ding Girl. Only got to number 46 in the charts, but we were 4th that year. Ronnie Carroll was a Northern Irish singer, entertainer and political candidate. He was in the UK general election around 97, which was the year that Blair won. But I don't think he was he wasn't with one of the main big parties. His first wife was Millicent Martin.
Oh, blimey. That was the week that was.
Yeah. He had a song in '62 called Roses Are Red, which was number 3. Say Wonderful Things in '63, number 6. So he did have a bit of a singing career beyond just his Eurovision.
Yeah.
Who won in '62? In '62, France won. Now, the following year, '63, we obviously felt quite happy about Ronnie Carroll representing us in '62 because he was asked back. He did Say Wonderful Things, which I think was that one I just mentioned, and that was a number 6 hit. He must have been a bit annoyed though, because that Eurovision that year he came fourth again for the second year running, and in '63 the winner was Denmark. 64, I think we're beginning to enter the era of big names bigger names. Not entirely. There's one I don't know who, but pretty much the next few years I recognise all these names. 64 we had Matt Monro.
Oh yeah, my mum worked with him.
Yeah, I love the little things. The weird thing is the single failed to chart, but the UK was second that year, so it obviously did well in the voting. But Matt Monro, gosh, he doesn't look like a singer. He looks more like a politician or something. He was an English singer who became one of the most popular entertainers of the international music scene during the 60s and 70s, known as the man with the golden voice. His recordings included the UK top 10 hits Portrait of My Love, My Kind of Girl, Softly As I Leave You, Walk Away and Yesterday, a version of the...
Not to mention From Russia With Love.
Yes. And Born Free.
Oh, yes.
And On Days Like This for the Italian
the Italian job, yeah.
So, what year was that? For 64, Italy won. In 65, we had Kathy Kirby. Now, she's a name I recognise.
Oh, yes.
As well. Her song was I Belong. She only got to 36 in the charts. We got second in Eurovision that year.
Wasn't she the lady who sang the tune to Adam Adamant? She had the theme tune to Adam Adamant.
Yes. Yes, you're right. She sang the theme tune for Adam Adamant. She also made a number of appearances on, and I hear Toby and Lisa mentioning this, the Will Tappers and Shunters Social Club.
That's right. We've got that. It's Ali's. And remember, Dad used to like it. We've got that.
She retired in 1983.
Oh my goodness!
After one last concert in Blackpool.
Is she still alive?
No, she died in 2011, aged 72. She was born the year before my dad, or only a few months before my dad, October.
And no, she gets a shout out in The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. So when Reggie comes back after having pretending to kill himself and impersonating his friend, CJ says, "I could put on a dress and pretend I was Kathy Kirby."
In 65, Luxembourg won. In 66, now this is the name I didn't recognise, and this is probably the last name I don't recognise for a good 10 years. Kenneth McKellar.
Kenneth McKellar? Yes.
Kenneth McKellar?
Yes, I know him. Oh. He is a Scottish singer. He's a bit like Andy Stewart. He's the sort of archetypal Scottish. We've got a single of him at home singing a Scottish soldier, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, he was very famous.
Yes, I don't recognise that name. His song was A Man Without Love. It only got to number 30 in the charts, and we were only 9th that year, which, considering, I don't know how many people...
they were getting bored with us by then.
entering. But 1966, the winner of 66 was Austria. Now we start to come into, well, certainly names that I consider, well, in my record collection. 1967, Sandy Shore.
Of course, Puppet on a String.
With
That's certainly the first record I have heard of. I must admit.
And the single got to number 1 in the charts, and that was the first year that we won the Eurovision Song Contest.
Hurrah!
Now the following year is another big name, 1968, Cliff Richard.
Cliff with
Congratulations, which was also number 1 in the charts, although we didn't win that year. We were second.
Good song.
And Spain won with a song called La La La.
La la la. In other words, they forgot the words on the night.
Yeah, I bet Cliff didn't. But Cliff was a gentleman and wished them congratulations all the same.
Hey.
Now the following year, 69, we have Lulu and Boom Bang a Bang.
Boom Bang a Bang.
Now the funny thing about that
this is my first Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah. The funny thing about that was that that was sort of reverse of the previous year in that the single was number 2, but we did win again.
Yeah.
Blimey, 2 years we won.
People liked us in those days.
Oh, now just a minute. Although it says we won, I think this must have been contentious because it lists 4 countries that won in '69. France.
Everyone was good that year.
France with Un jour, un enfant. Isn't that a day, a child, or something? And Netherlands, De Troubadour. And Spain, Vivo Cantando. And then Boom Bang a Bang.
Maybe there was a communication problem, and they all the 4 of them thought they'd won, and
you would think that they had to do like a sing-off or something to get a definite result. Anyway, so in 1970, another name that not quite as famous, but I definitely recognise her, Mary Hopkin.
Oh, she was number 1 when I was born.
Yeah, she was one who did Those Were the Days.
Yeah.
Her song was Knock Knock Who's There, which I think I remember.
And Dana was that year, wasn't she? She won. I think she won it.
Maybe.
Ireland.
Yeah, it got to number 2 in the charts, and we were second that year. And yes, that's right. All Kinds of Everything by Dana was the winner.
Lovely song.
All kinds of everything. Hopefully, Ick will be joining us at the end of the show to do some of his favourite Eurovision songs from the UK. Now, where was I?
71.
Yeah, 71. Now, I do recognise her. She's not as well known, and I hope I don't pronounce her name wrong. Clodoff Rogers with Jack in the Box. Now,
just a Jack in the Box.
She did Come Back and Shake Me. I think I do know some of her songs. She's sort of one of those late 60s singers. Yeah. Jack in the Box got to number 4 in the charts, and we were 4th that year. And in 1971, Monaco won. So now we're on to 1972. Now, definitely a group I know, and I have 1 or 2 of their songs. Not the Seekers, but the New Seekers, with Beg, Steal or Borrow.
Oh yes, I like that song.
Yeah, they got to number 2 in the charts, and they were second that year. The New Seekers were formed from one of the members of the original Seekers.
Well, they took the DNA from one of them and created
a new group.
New Seekers.
Luxembourg was the winner in 72. 73, we had Cliff Richard again.
Power to All Our Friends.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, that's another good one.
It's quite a catchy one.
Yes.
Number 4 in the charts. It was around the time when his I remember I've kind of listened to quite a few of early 70s Cliff Richard. He had a period from, I don't know exactly, from around 70 to about Devil Woman in 76, where his singles weren't doing as well. And I listened to a load of them, and they were quite interesting. I think it's probably because he was going through a bit of a change in his career.
Yeah.
Anyway, we came 3rd that year. And 73, Luxembourg won again. Luxembourg did very well. Then in 74, I guess she got to represent us because of Australia kind of connection with the UK. It was Olivia Newton-John with Long Live Love. Only got to number 11 in the charts, although it's one I know quite well.
Not one to pronounce when you're drunk. Long live.
Well, I'm sure I've said this. I used to think that it was Olivia and Elton John. That they were like a duo or something.
Olivia Neutron Bomb.
Yeah. We got to 4. We got to number 4, 1974.
And of course, no prizes for guessing who the winner was that year.
Yes, of course.
Sweden.
1974. Sweden won with Waterloo.
And a legend was born.
And then in 75, not one that I know, but a name I know, the Shadows represented us, who of course had connections with Cliff earlier in their career. Their song was called Let Me Be The One, got to number 12 in the charts, but they did very well. They were second in the contest that year, and at least they got to have a nice trip to Sweden.
Yes.
Who won in 75? The winner in 75 was Netherlands with a song called Ding a Dong.
Ding a Dong.
So then we come up to 76. Now, this was a successful year for the UK.
Yes.
Yeah, we won it with Brotherhood of Man.
Save all your kisses for me.
Which was a sort of cut price ABBA.
They were a kind of cheesy knockoff ABBA. Well, I think they'd been going longer than ABBA.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they were trying to find a style for themselves, and certainly by being very ABBA-y, their career suddenly took off.
ABBA did Fernando, so they had to do a sort of
the Angelo,
anyway, the song they won with was "Save Your Kisses for Me," got to number 1, and they were first that year. So.
I don't think the ABBA did a comparable "Save All Your Kisses for Me."
No, I don't think it was a two-way love affair. Now the following year, I definitely recognised this one, but I wouldn't have necessarily known that it had been a Eurovision entry. Lindsay DePaul and Mike Moran with Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom, yes, I remember that. Yes, great. I like Lindsay DePaul. I'm a big fan of that song. Is Elaine? Yeah.
Didn't do very well in the chart. Well, didn't do awfully, but didn't.
I remember it on Top of the Pops.
Something number 19. So, but I would have just thought it did better because it's quite well known, and also they got to number 2. They were they were second in the Eurovision Song Contest that year. So I'm kind of surprised it wasn't a bigger hit. France won though that year. Now, in 78, a band called Coco were our representatives. Now let me just check.
I remember the winners that year.
Sorry.
I remember the winner that year.
Well, the funny thing, you may not know about this, is that Cheryl Baker was in Coco.
Yeah.
Of course, Cheryl Baker was in Bucks Fizz a few years later.
I remember a picture of her in Coco on them looking.
Yeah, I did sort of remember that there was a...
But if I remember rightly, it was Israel, and it was I wanna be. Helen, I lived next door to Helen Smith, who was a friend of mine, Harry's, and we would be singing it, but we were trying to do silly variations of it. I want to meet a polar bear, which there was all sorts of variations on it. I want to meet a polar bear.
I shall confirm in just a sec, but Coco's song was The Bad Old Days. Only got to number 13 in the charts, and they were only 11th that year, so it was a bit the bad old days for them. Yes, Israel won in 78. Abadi B.
Abadi B.
Yes.
Abadi B, Abadi there. I want to meet a polar bear.
I was here. I don't think I'm the Alpha Betas or something. It's a bit confusing.
I wanna be a bug.
So, yeah,
that was one I remember.
yeah. The following year, 79, Black Lace represented us with a song called Mary Ann. Black Lace were the people who did Agadoo
And the conga.
various other party tunes in the 80s. Now this Mary Ann only got to number 42 in the charts, but they did do. They were 7th that year.
Hallelujah.
But the winner.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yes, Israel won again.
Well done, Israel.
Yeah, it's 2 years in a row. That's good.
Hallelujah.
Although probably expensive for them to have to.
It's a good song, as I remember. I can still remember it.
It looks like, I don't know why this happened, but it looks like when they won in 78, it was in Jerusalem in 79, but in 80 it was in The Hague. Then perhaps they said it's too expensive to do it too.
Yeah, so we can't afford it.
So now we're into the 80s. I have a feeling this group has connections. Oh yeah. Oh right. Yes, very interesting. Trivia fans. In 1980, the band that represented us was called Prima Donna. Now the interesting thing about Prima Donna is that it comprised the sisters Kate Robbins and Jane Robbins. And Kate
Robbins?
Yeah, Kate Robbins was, well, she's also known for doing all the funny voices on Spitting Image.
She was a comedian, wasn't
yes,
she?
That's right.
She
but she did do
had her own show.
Yeah, she... and I think I've forgotten what her name of her brother is. She did comedy with him. Also, Sally Ann Triplett, she was in Bardo, I think, a couple of years later. Lance Aston, and now Lance Aston was the brother of Jay Aston from Bucks Fizz. Lance Aston is also married to Marcella Detroit from Shakespeare's Sister, and I know that Harry has had email contact with Lance, because I think Lance sort of runs her fan club for her. I've heard him mention Lance many times. So yes, interesting.
Yeah.
A band made of lots of people who did lots of different things afterwards. Yeah, and another member of Prima Donna was Danny Finn, who was married to one of the New Seekers, and I think had been in the New Seekers himself. So anyway, that's before we even get to their song. The song that they released was Love Enough for Two. Didn't do very well in the charts, number 48, but they were third that year. So, and I think that was the year that Ireland won with What's Another Year by Johnny Logan.
Oh yes, I remember that.
That's one that, because Johnny Logan's one of those people who won more than once as well, with about 20 years gap or something like that. Then we come to 81, which was another successful year.
I remember 81. I remember watching that. I definitely watched that one, and we won that year. And I rushed out. My mum was out at a concert or something at the time, and when it was all over, I remember rushing out and saying, "We won!" And I was that year of it. It was the year. It was the week after Tom Baker had finished as Doctor Who, and I always associate that song with Tom Baker leaving Doctor Who.
And for those listeners who don't know which song we mean, it's "Making Your Mind Up" by Bucks Fizz, who
very catchy,
a favourite band of mine. "Making Your Mind Up" got to number 1 in the charts, as well as them being number 1 in Eurovision. The following year, 82 is another favourite of mine. That was Bardo, One Step Further, a very catchy tune, written by the same people, I think, who'd written Making Your Mind Up.
I remember the winner. Nicole with a Little Piece from Germany.
Which also did well in the charts over here as well.
I know, I've got it. I've very nice little song. I also remember there was my mum being not disgusted, because my mum was never disgusted about things. She was her eyebrows were raised. The fact that it was called Little Piece, and it was very gentle. One of the entries was a Swedish headbanger or something talking about nuclear weapons or something. And then so you couldn't have wished for a more different tune. But a lovely tune.
Well, Bardo only got to number 2 in the charts. I've used One Step Further, one of my early Beaches videos, where I made Harry and Robin look like a pair of prats by having them jumping around, doing silly dancing in my back garden.
Something to bring out for their dotage.
The UK was only 7th that year. So 1982, as you say, well, yes. It's got it in the original German, but yeah, it says Nicole, so I imagine that must be a little piece. 1983 was a band called Sweet Dreams. Their song was I'm Never Giving Up. Got to number 21 in the charts. We were
I think
6th
they should have given up.
Yeah, we were 6th that year. Luxembourg won that year again. Now, I think I'm a bit more familiar with this one. 1984, the late 60s and early 70s, or mid-70s, were definitely when people who were relatively... They might have passed their first peak of success, but they were quite well-known names. Sandy Shaw, she was in the middle of her success. Cliff Richard's never really run out of success. But, yeah, we do start to enter a sort of period round now where, these bands, you wouldn't really know them unless you were a Eurovision fan. In 1984, Bell and the Devotions with Love Games.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember it was the night of Eurovision. We were over in Wales at my sister's house, and my then brother-in-law making a very disparaging remark that it was a re-released.
Well, yeah, they're not supposed to. Well, they didn't used to. Usually, they're supposed to be original songs and not previously released. But I don't know if that was always been the case. Got to number 11. Definitely know that song. I saw when they appeared on Top of the Pops when they repeated that. We were 7th that year. Who won in '84? Sweden. Oh dear, this is one of those ones that always gets mentioned. The winner was Diggy Loo Diggy Lay. Then '85, someone called Vicky was the representative. She had a song called Love Is, and it got to number 49 in the charts. But we were 4th that year. So we did pretty well.
I think from hearing on, I think my recollection is hazy to say the least.
Yeah.
I think mainly sort of 70s and 80s.
You might recognise some of the people who entered.
Yeah.
The winner in '85 was Norway, and the winner was Bobby Socks. I sort of recognise the name of that being a band more than I do the song. But in '86, somebody called Ryder was asked. They were a purpose-made pop group led by Maynard Williams, whose primary purpose was to represent the UK. Well, the song got to 98 in the charts, and the song was called Runner in the Night. We were 7th that year, and I imagine we're in the period now where there must have been 20 or 30 countries. The winner was Belgium with J'aime la vie, which
that rings a bell.
I think that means I Love Life by Sandra Kim. Yeah, of course, some of these winners were hits like Waterloo. Many others, some of the winners that weren't from the UK were hits in the UK, like A Little Piece as well. In 87, there's lots of one word. We have Vicky in 85, we have Ryder in 86, in 87 we have Ricky. So Vicky and Ricky. Ricky was a Scottish singer who had written songs for the band Middle of the Road.
Right.
Middle of the Road did Chirpy Chirpy Cheep.
Chirpy Chirpy Cheep. Yes.
The song was called Only the Light. Got to number 96 in the charts when we were 13th that year. In 87, Ireland won. Oh no, that was when Johnny Logan won again. So it was sort of almost 10 years after. Hold Me Now, Johnny Logan. In 88, we have Scott Fitzgerald, another Scottish singer, who apparently had international music chart success in the 70s. We need to explore. It had a song, If I Had Words, in 1978, which was based on the main theme from Saint-Cyr Symphony No. 3. Sounds all very complicated. Okay, so you've had international success. We believe you. The song was called Go, and only got to number 52 in the charts. We were 13th that year. Oh no, I'm reading the wrong line. We were second. No, we were second that year. Sorry, Scott. Scott's going to hate me now. Only if I queried whether he was an international success. I read the wrong. I said he only got to 13 when he got to number 2. In '88, Switzerland won with Celine Dion was their singer in Switzerland. In '89, we've got Live Report. Why do I always get it wrong? Got to number 73 in the charts, but we were second that year. Yugoslavia won that year, and then there are a lot of one-word names. In 1990, someone called Emma won, a Welsh singer.
They ran out of electricity.
Yes. Her song was Give a Little Love Back to the World. Got to number 33 in the charts, and we were sixth that year.
Vaguely familiar.
Italy won in 1990. 1991, Samantha Janus, who was an actress who, she was on EastEnders for quite a lot of her career. I think her name changed to Samantha Womack when she got married, but I used to like her in a sitcom called Game On. A Message to Your Heart was her song, number 30 in the charts. We were 10th that year. Sweden won that year. In 1992, Michael Ball represented us with One Step Out of Time. Got to number 20. We were second that year. Ireland won. In fact, Ireland won 3 years in a row, in 92, 93 and 94. So, 93. Now, I remember 93 being very exciting. That's the year that Sonia, who was one of Stockhaven and Waterman's singers, she represented us with a song called Better the Devil You Know, not the Kylie song, but another song. I only got to number 15 in the charts, but that was the year we got second. I remember, I think I was at university, and it was in that period where I'd finished my first year at university. I wasn't going back until the following week. I remember watching it in my digs at the time, and it was really down to the last vote as whether we'd be first or second. I do remember that being one of the most exciting years. In 94, Francis Raphael, We Will Be Free, Lonely Symphony, 25 in the charts. We were 10th that year. I think that's still one of the years that Ireland won. Yeah, that was the last of the 3 years that Ireland won in a row. In 95, Love City Groove, with a song called Love City Groove. I feel like that was one of those songs that is trying very hard to be trendy.
Yeah.
The song got to number 7. We were only 10th again that year. And I believe Norway won in 95. In 96, Gina G, Ooh Ah Just a Little Bit.
Oh yes, I do know that one.
That was very big. I almost forget.
Big chart hit.
Yeah, I almost forget that it was a Eurovision song.
Yeah. I certainly forgot. Yeah, I do know that one. Yeah.
That was everywhere.
Yeah.
They got to number 1 in the charts. We were only 8th that year, but
that being around very much, that was when we were shooting Run Fast in the World, and I remember that very much being in the charts.
Ireland won that year again. So, other than the year that Norway in '95, 4 out of 5 years Ireland won. Now, '97 was, I think, the last year that the UK won. And it was a weird name to be representing us. It was Katrina in the Waves, who was known for Walking on Sunshine back in the 80s. They were a band that were sort of, I think Katrina was American, but the rest of the band was British or something. But their song was Love Shine a Light, and got to number 3 in the charts, but yes, we were first.
Rings a bell.
In 98, a singer called Amani, I think the actual contest took place in Birmingham that year, having won the previous year. Song's called Where Are You? Got to 15 in the charts. We were second that year, so we did very well another year. So Israel won with Diva. Oh, that was Dana International. Now that was a very controversial song at the time. Dana International, assigned male at birth. She identified as female from a very young age. She came out as transgender at the age of 13. Yeah, I couldn't remember, but I think that was a really good song as well. In 99, a singer called Precious represented us. They were like a girl band. Say It Again was the song, got to number 6. The charts, we were 12th that year. And 99, Sweden won. Now, probably going to rattle through the next 20 years because I don't think we're going to know a lot of these people.
I think I saw 2000 with my mum. That was the last Euro when I was at home.
Nikki French, I know her from the mid-90s. She did a version of...
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah. I think she did a sort of more sped-up version of Total Eclipse of the Heart, which a dance version. She did a song called Don't Play That Song Again. Got to number 34. We were 16th that year. Denmark won. Lindsay D represented us in 2001. No Dream Impossible. Number 32 in the charts. Number 15. I won't say who won for these ones because it wasn't us. I will read them at the end as the list of all the countries that won from 2000. 2002, Jessica Garlick, Welsh pop singer. Sort of have heard of her name. Come Back. The song got to number 13, but we were third that year, so that was quite good for us for that period. 2003, Gemini. I think they were. Oh yes, they got nil point.
Oh.
I think they were the band who, when it came to doing it live on the night, they were very badly out of tune.
Yeah.
Their song was called Cry Baby, number 15 in the charts. They were 26th. They got nil point. Presumably one of the few that have ever had that because I think it's made such a fuss about the fact that we got nil point. In 2004, a singer called James Fox, Welsh singer, Hold On To Our Love, 13 in the charts, 16th at Eurovision. Javine, in 2005, Touch My Fire. I think that was quite good actually. I think I might have bought that one. Sort of in the noughties, I used to go around Harry's house and we used to have Eurovision nights.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of an event, but in the last 10 years, I've kind of gone out the other side where I'm not that bothered. With a blip in 2016, I think. There was a year where I got very enthusiastic and I watched it and really enjoyed it. And I think I even have the DVD, but I haven't even watched the last few years, and then it didn't happen.
2006 was my last one. I watched that. David Sprakes, who was a mutual friend of ours, we went round his house to watch Doctor Who, and we kind of stayed on and did Eurovision.
Yeah, Touch My Fire, 18 in the charts, 22nd at Eurovision. 2006, Daz Simpson, Teenage Life, number 8 in the charts, 19th at Eurovision.
I remember that year there was a song, there was a cheeky sort of song from one of the countries which was called "We Are the Winners of Eurovision."
In 2007, Scooch represented us, and Scooch was sort of like a cut price Steps. So, and I don't think they'd been doing much for a while. They were sort of revived. I think because we stopped winning or doing well each year, there was a panic. Oh, well, we must do this. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this.
Yeah.
And tried, try serious, try camp, try. But then, also different countries were ganging up on us and on different. So there were lots of reasons probably why we don't do well anymore. The song was called "Flying the Flag for You." Got to number 5 in the charts. 22nd at Eurovision. I do remember that one being quite highly publicised at the time. In 2008, Andy Abraham, "Even If," 67 in the charts, 25th at Eurovision. I think that was just quite sort of nondescript song. He was somebody who had... he was the runner-up in the second series of X Factor, apparently.
And now we're getting into the X Factor.
Yes, yeah. In 2009, Jade Ewan represented us with a song called "It's My Time." Got to number 27 in the charts. But they were fit. Well, that's another example of when we did do relatively well that year. We were 5th in 2009 in the Eurovision Song Contest. Now, I know Jade Ewan. I don't know this song, but I know Jade Ewan because she joined the last proper lineup of the Sugar Babes to date. So she was sort of maybe the last album campaign. She was one of the 3 girls in the Sugar Babes, and as a bit of a Sugar Babes fan, I sort of know her name from that and recognise her face from their videos. 2010, Josh Dubovi. Apparently, the song was written by Stock Aitken and or Stock. I don't know if it's written by all 3 of them, but it's written by some of those people.
It's from
Certainly by Mike Stock and Peter Waterman. Am I going to have to click on here? No, it was, Mike Stock, Peter. I know these days there isn't, Stock Aitken and Waterman don't exist, as I think the Aitken has dropped out. Yes, Josh Dubovi also, yes, That Sounds Good to Me, failed to chart as a single, 25th at Eurovision. Now, in 2011, the band who represented us was a boy band called Blue, who did pretty well, probably earlier in the noughties. They were quite big, but I think they'd been sort of maybe dormant for a while. Their song was called "I Can," got to number 16 in the charts. We were 11th that year. Now this is a funny one. 2012, Engelbert Humperdinck represented us.
I didn't even know he was still alive then.
Yeah, he obviously Please Release Me in the 60s, The Last Waltz in 67. I guess that was a hark back to getting somebody from the 60s to represent us. His song was called "Love Will Set You Free." Only got to number 60 in the charts. We only got to number 25 at Eurovision that year.
It's a shame. Yeah.
Now, another one that's rather a weird one. In 2013, Bonnie Tyler represented us.
Oh.
Her song was "Believe in Me." Because it's funny, really. We said Nikki French, who did a dance version of one of her songs about 10 years before. And then 10 years later, the actual singer.
Your actual...
Yeah. "Believe in Me" only got to number 93 in the charts, and we were only 19th that year. I mean, we really haven't... We've done pretty appallingly since 2009. Jade Ewan was the last, decent-ish result. In 2014, someone called Molly represented us. She is a British singer-songwriter, but she looks quite youngish. She's probably in her 20s when she did it. She's only in her early 30s now. "Children of the Universe" got to 23 in the charts. We were 17th that year. 2015, Electric Velvet, who just seemed to be a man and a woman. I don't know about them. It looks like they're probably pretty much formed for the result, formed for the contest, I mean. And their song was called "Still in Love with You." Failed to chart, and they were 24th that year. Now, in 2016, Joe and Jake represented us. They're just 2 boys. They're like 2 boys. Don't think they're somehow related. They're somehow linked to the TV series The Voice. So sort of reality show people. You're Not Alone, 81 in the charts, 24th at Eurovision. 2017, Lucy Jones. She was in the X Factor Series 6, but she finished like 8th. Never Give Up On You, number 73 in the charts, 15th at Eurovision, which is probably the highest we've been since 2009, but still not great. 2018, Suri. She was English singer-songwriter. I think her song was not bad. I think that was the year that I watched, like, it's called Eurovision You Decide by this point. And I think I watched it around Harry's house, and I liked a lot of the songs that were being put up for the contest that year. And then I remembered at the end of the year when I watched Christmas Top of the Pops that the songs that were being put forward for Eurovision were pretty much better than anything that was high in the charts on Christmas Top of the Pops in 2018. The song's called Storm, got to number 50 in the charts. We got Eurovision 24th. Then 2019, Michael Rice. He won a singing competition. All Together Now. And he was in the 11th series of X Factor. His song was called Bigger Than Us, failed to chart, and we were 26th that year at Eurovision. And in 2020 we had someone called James Newman, who was just a singer-songwriter. He had a song called My Last Breath. It failed to chart, but the contest was cancelled anyway due to COVID. So really, the last few years
it's been a complete waste of time.
It's just been a bit sad, really. Since 2009, we might well have not bothered. Sorry, guys, but I'm afraid I was going to say they're a bunch of people you've never heard of. I guess you might have heard of them if you'd watched X Factor or whatever. And there are people like Blue and Engelbert Humperdinck and Bonnie Tyler were involved. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised.
All sort of
in the oldies, bringing back the oldies didn't seem to work. I can see the strategy there.
Because even Blue were relatively. I think Blue had been around since the late 90s. They weren't at the. Some of these boy bands go away and come back, like Take That went away and came back, and they were probably even more famous second time round. Steps are back, and certainly have probably got more impressive songs now than they had when they were at their peak. But I was just going to finish off with who did win, what countries did win the last 20 years. But I wouldn't even say that many of the songs that did win became big hits in the last 20 years. I might be wrong. Now I'm going to be proved wrong, but no. 2000, Denmark won, Estonia, Latvia, Turkey, Ukraine, Greece, Finland, Serbia, Russia, Norway, Germany, Azerbaijan, Sweden, Denmark, Austria, Sweden, Ukraine, Portugal, Israel, Netherlands. Now it must have been 2015 that I was very keen. The song was called Heroes by Mans Zelmerlöw. I said I wouldn't pronounce
his best friend.
But I remember that being quite a catchy song. In 2014, Conchita Wurst, I remember, from Austria, Rise Like a Phoenix. I remember that being a bit like a Dano, an international one.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what the story was. He uses masculine pronouns when referring to himself, but feminine pronouns to describe Conchita. I think that was another case of trying something a bit different, a bit like Dano International had done in the 90s.
Yeah.
But not many of those songs, I don't think, I can't see any of those songs
Never heard any of them,
over here. So, yeah. So, well...
Oh, there you go.
There we go, the history of Eurovision.
Quick trip round Europe.
Mainly from a British point of view, but... right. mixture of knowns and unknowns representing us over the years.
Yes.
Maybe you and I should do it in 2021, Nick. What would you like to say? Can you say?
Yeti and Wub.
Yeah. Well, we could do like the Flying Pickets. Like we could do boom, boom, boom. Or we could do like a mixture of that and the Paul McCartney's The Frog Song. We could do the boom, growl, 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 growl. We'll work on it, listeners. You keep your eyes.
Oh, Dealey, you could do.
Yes, Dealey can do some singing. That would be wonderful. Keep your eyes on Eurovision next year. It'll be Nick. It'll be Nick and Dealey and I will win. We'll be the first winners since 97. The first winner since 97. Anyway, we'll say goodbye now, and but I'm sure that Ike will show up to do a few versions himself of some of the songs. But thanks for joining me, Nick.
My pleasure.
Good to have you here, and we'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.
So, Comedy, it's Uncle John. Tell me all you can about the Eurovision Song Contest. I was going to ask Martin about it, but I don't think it's really, his cup of tea.
Oh, well, yeah. He's probably a bit young for it. I mean, I don't want to be mean, but probably in its heyday in the 60s and 70s and maybe even the 80s. But I don't know. I don't know how many, people Martin's age still watch because they, I don't know. It's difficult. Oh, yes, you see, it is a very over-the-top and camp show, or at least it can be perceived that way.
Well, I know that's why I'm quite excited about covering it. The songs seem very upbeat.
Oh, that they are, yes, that they are. We don't do very well in the contest anymore, but, I think Paul's talking about the songs that we have entered. Oh, yes, whether they were successful or not.
Well, yes, I've been trying to get used to the songs, trying to learn them. It's like one of our pop episodes, just a different format this time.
It is indeed. I'm sure you'll do very good. Yes, very well. I'm sure you'll do very well. Oh, yes, Ike. Very much looking forward to your renditions of some of the big songs of Eurovision, at least the British entries.
Who knows? Paul might do a show about all the different other countries that have won.
Yeah, I don't know, because the thing is, the songs aren't that well known. A lot of them aren't, some of them are. But, I think, anyway, he's done a good job at covering all the songs that the UK has entered. But, anyway, I can hear the theme music. Oh, yes, I can hear it too. Ike, are you ready to perform?
I am, Comedy. I am. It's Uncle John.
Ike, wish you the very best of luck. Maybe I'll recognise some of the tunes. Most of the music I listen to is based on smells, so I don't know.
Music based on smells?
Oh, I don't know what he's talking about. Sounds fascinating, Martin. You'll have to explain.
I will. Yeah, I will.
I gotta go now. Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
Oh dear, what's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life podcast. Let's go.
I have a voice.
I have a voice.
You have a voice. You have a voice.
We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
sing some of the big songs of the Eurovision Song Contest, sorry. I'm here to sing some of the big songs of the Eurovision Song Contest, at least the ones that the United Kingdom entered. Yes, I'm afraid I'm mainly covering songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s. Yes. Here we go. La la, I wonder if someday that you'll say that you care like it. If you say, I love you madly, I'll gladly be there like a puppet on a string, la la la. Like a merry-go-round. Oh, the fun of the fair. La la la, la la la. Like a puppet on a string. Boom, bang, a bang, boom, bang, a bang. Right in your ear. No, boom, bang, a bang, boom, bang, a bang. Boom, bang, a bang. Yes. Oh dear. Started to sound like Chitty Bang Bang or something. Here's this one. Congratulations and jubilations. I'll tell everyone that you're in love with me. Oh yes, I will. Congratulations, woo-hoo, and jubilations, woo-hoo, and everyone that you're in love with me. Congratulations, woo-hoo, jubilations, woo-hoo, and it's tiring, that one. Knock, knock, who's there? Do, 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 do. Knock, knock, who's there? Do, 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 do. Long, long live love, and all that we live. Long, long live love. Oh yes, long, long live love, 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 love. Oh dear, I haven't quite got that right. But power to all our friends and to the people who never end. Oh, the power to you and me. La 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 la, something like that. Save your kisses for me. Oh, save all your kisses for me. Goodbye, baby, goodbye. Do-do-do-do-do. Don't cry. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And again, and speed it up, and then you gotta slow it down, and then you gotta even it up and hit the top and even play around, and then you find that there comes a time of making your mind up. Yes, I like that one. Oh gosh. One step further and I could have been there. I could have turned around and hit you and you wouldn't have cared. All this time I could have gotten anywhere. One step further and I could have, one step further and I could have been there. Okay, I should have rehearsed that one better. I know it's one of Paul's favourites. What about, just a little bit, a little bit more, just a little bit, you know what it's working for, just a little bit, a little bit more, just a little bit, you and I, and love, shine a light in the corner of this town, and make your love light carry, make your love light carry, and you, ooh, la 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 la, ooh, Oh dear. I think I should finish with Waterloo. Waterloo.
Hannah, Eek.
Oh, sorry, Paul. I'm sorry. I hope I was up to standard.
You were very up to standard, but I'm just pointing out that Waterloo wasn't a British entry. It was a winner, but it wasn't a British entry. It was Swedish. It was ABBA, a very, very famous song.
I know, Paul. I just thought I'd finish with a very famous tune.
Oh, go on then. Oh dear. Bye-bye, listeners.
Bye, listeners. Waterloo, and any day that you won the war. Waterloo. Promise to tell that you love the war. No, you don't love.
Oh, Eek, you got it all wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, gosh. Oh, dear. Oh, golly. Ring. Why don't you give me a call? Do. Ring. La.
That was what ABBA entered the year before, and it didn't win. It didn't even get chosen. Eek. Oh, dear. Sorry, he's messed up again.
Sorry. Oh, dear. Sorry.
The Shy Life podcast would like to wish the best of luck to James Newman, the UK entry for the 65th Eurovision Song Contest when the show reaches its final in Rotterdam on the 22nd May 2021. For that matter, we wish everyone taking part the best of luck. Let's hope there are some cracking songs entered this year, and that you all enjoy making your minds up about who is your favorite. Please do not fight over it. This isn't Waterloo. My exclamation.
Worst comes to the worst, and this one doesn't get released, we'll put it out around the time. Well, the time of the next Eurovision Song Contest. But then it was cancelled. Start again. No, just a minute. 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 Start again.